It's consideration of providing staff with direction regarding the possible refinancing of the existing RDA bonds and other matters properly related thereto. Mr. Empey and Mr. Baker, who would you, Mr. Baker's up, so I guess you want Mr. Baker under the bus?
Yeah, he could do very well at surviving that and introducing the idea, and I'll just swing around and join him at the.
Aaron is a little smaller bump anyway.
Oh man. Well then, that being said, before you have this evening, the beginnings of a possible refinancing process, refunding process for an existing RDA bond that the city has. The bond was taken out in 2009, and this is the first opportunity the city has to refinance this. Currently, the bond in the coming years is at interest rates of 5.75 to 7 3/8. We can refinance at two possible options, 4 1/4 or 3 1/4. Now those are proposals; those aren't etched in stone. We'd have to take it to market. But the 4.25 is if the RDA backs it solely, and the 3.25 would be if it was a general obligation bond to the city of Mesquite, but paid for by the redevelopment agency still. So either option is a good option because it buys down debt. There are savings, $3.5 million if the RDA, over $4 million if it's the city. You did a similar action back in 2012 where you refinanced the bond and you got a better rate, where the RDA pays a portion of that, but it's a city general obligation bond. We are recommending the city general obligation fund option, and this will be done by June of 2014. I'm here, Mr. Empey's here, and John Peterson with J&A Consulting, who's working on this for us as well. He's done a lot of our work in the past, great work for us. He's here as well to answer any questions that you may have.
Yeah, it's nice to be here with you tonight and explain some of the nuances of this financing. And John Peterson from J&A Consulting always does a fabulous job. He's worked with the city on numerous previous occasions, but I just wanted to stress that this refunding doesn't extend the overall payment period of the existing debt. It remains, it will be paid off. This refunded bond will be paid off in 10 years, as was the old debt. So it's, you know, if we had anything to compare this to, it's like refinancing your home at a lower rate of interest. So that's a pretty good comparison. So the savings are rather stark and remarkable, actually. So, and the first opportunity we have is approaching, and so we have a tentative financing schedule that is part of the packet that gives you an idea of how public this process is. It happens over several council meetings, and discussion and deliberations are made, and so that we arrive at a you know, the best possible outcome here. So, John, did you want to say anything?
I'll be brief. John Peterson with J&A Consulting Group. As Mr. Baker and Mr. Empey have said, we definitely recommend that the city and the redevelopment agency refinance this bond. Either way, the interest savings are substantial. The average rate is about 7 1/8% on your existing debt, and to refinance that at 4 1/4 or 3 1/4 is just tremendous. I can't think of anyone who wouldn't want to refinance their home if they could get those kind of savings. And as Mr. Empey said, we'll be back for various other steps that would need to occur in order for this to be approved. In terms of the budgetary impact, we've tried to put the savings in every year other than the current year, so there's no need to amend the 2014 budget. But I will pause there, and if there are any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Thank you. Any questions for staff? Councilman Whitfield?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd just like to make sure and let it be known to the public that we're going to shop this around. This is not a cut and dried procedure that one entity is going to get the financing, the refinancing on this, or we're going to shop for rates, or how does this transpire?
John Peterson with Cheney Consulting. Councilmember Withholder, yes, that is correct. We would send out a request for proposals to various financial institutions, banks, and other market intermediaries, and ask for their proposal in terms of interest rate. For some comparison, we recently completed a transaction for North Lake Tahoe Fire Protection District. For anyone that's familiar, that's Incline Village, where the billionaires are kicking out the millionaires. But they received many bids on that. I want to say that their 10-year rate was somewhere in the high 2% range, but that was back in December, and we still have a couple of months to go until we can close this, so we're being a little conservative.
Are we going to be shopping this locally first, hopefully?
I know that several banks are aware of it right now, and other banks would, yes, if they're able to submit a proposal, yes, they will.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Thank you very much. With that, we'll seek a motion then on giving some direction to staff on agenda item 8. Councilman Hayden.
Mayor, I move that we direct staff to proceed with the refinancing process under the city general obligation option, which is a lower interest rate, which is the benefit for the city.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Call for vote. Motion carries. Thank you.